Hi folks, how are we all doing? It's Thursday. It is 9 o'clock on Thursday, which means it's kind of the end of my week. I'm going to work a wee bit of overtime tomorrow, so it's not really my Friday. But I won't be working a full day. So still excited to get to Thursday. And excited to see all you guys, of course. Um, how are we doing? So let's see. We've got Ramon from Moon Scarab. Hi, Ramon. How are you? I've got the lovely Red Wing, Patsy, Robin, and I've got Kristen and Janine as well. Hey, everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. How's everybody's week been? Has anybody done anything exciting this week? I'm just drinking my coffee. I've got decaf coffee with oat milk, and I've got a wee bit of it's a kind of a lemon drizzle flavoured white hot chocolate powder. It's from a store called Whittard's here in the UK. They do all sorts of fancy teas and coffees and hot chocolates and things like that. So it's just a hot chocolate powder, but I put it in with my decaf coffee. That makes it very tasty. Takes a wee bit of getting used to, like lemon in your coffee, I find. Um, Initially, when I tried it, I thought, "Oh, this is like a lime sip or something." But a lime sip for anyone, I don't do. You might maybe will have lime sip, like in the US and in other countries, but lime sips are like, hot drinks that you make when you're not well, and they're very strong lemony flavoured, like good for sore throats and stuff like that, and if you're feeling fluish. So yeah, initially it tasted a wee bit like that, but I kind of got used to it. Sorry, Janine, I'll take you off the screen there. You've been spotlighted. Um, Marita is here. Hi, Marita. How you doing? Deanne is listening whilst driving. Hi, Deanne. Uh, Jonathan Daly. Hi, Jonathan. Says it's been a while since I've been able to join Chris the Chris Fest. It has. It has. How have you been? Have you been up to anything exciting, Jonathan? Um, what was I talking about there? I was talking about my coffee. What's everybody else drinking? And what's everybody else been up to this week? Um, so yeah, but I'm trying to think how my week's been. Loads of working. Um, I work a 40-hour week. I work 10 hours Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So it's a pretty work intense week for the first half of it, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's worth it obviously because I get those days off. Um, Friday, I'll usually try. I do the food shop on a Friday morning, and I try and get my chores done on a Friday, really. And on, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, Saturday we tend to potter about. Sunday we don't tend to do much. Why am I talking about the weekend? I was supposed to be talking about my week. Um, so yeah, apart from work, not really a whole lot done. Um, just try and relax in the evenings. I've been watching White Collar. I keep wanting to say Whitechapel. Whitechapel's a different program. Whitechapel was a program here in the UK about Jack the Ripper. Well, the first season was about Jack the Ripper. It was really good actually. Um, but I've been watching White Collar. It's got Matt Bomer in it. Stars Matt Bomer, and he's really really good at it. And he's beautiful. So yeah, that's been my week. I'm trying to see what the chat is. There's lots of people saying hi. Um, Patsy says, I'm going through a tarot slump this week. I can't get interested in anything. Well, I might have just the thing for you, Patsy, because so we've got the wee chat on turning the tarot on its head. We'll do that. And then I thought in the second part of the live, depends if people are interested in this, maybe they won't be, but I thought rather than me just doing readings for questions, why don't we all grab a deck and pull cards together? Kind of like what Jilly did from Little Zencrone and her lives. I've got a spread that we can do, and I feel as though I'm very low down. Give me 2 seconds. I'm going to raise my chair. Okay, my chair won't seem to raise, and that's kind of better already. That'll do. I felt as though I was way down at the bottom of the screen there. Um, yeah, I've got a spread, got some cards here, so I thought we could pull cards together and we can talk in the chat about what cards we get, and if we need to, we can help each other interpret them. So let me know if you're interested in that. If not, we can always just do the standard. But yeah, Patsy, if you're going through a slump, then maybe doing a wee group tarot reading might inspire you. Kristen says lemon and coffee. Yeah, I know. To be honest with you, the reason I'm using it is because I love white hot chocolate flavored coffee. I usually have just plain white chocolate flavored hot chocolate powder, but I ran out. I bought like 6 tubs of it ages ago, but I've run out. So all that I've got left is this lemon stuff. Um, and it's actually all right. It's not too bad. Is that lime sip of lame sip? Lime sip or lame sip? Eh, lem, Lem, lame sip, as in like lemon. Eh, Kristen says, I can never stay the whole live because your live overlaps with her dinner time. Oh, I'm sorry, Kristen. What are you having for dinner tonight? Simon's here. Hi, Simon. Oops, didn't notice the time was watching the Madonna concert. Of course you were. Naturally. What else would you be doing at 9 o'clock on a Thursday evening? Um, Debbie from Aquarius Owl is listening on the commute. Hi, Debbie. Jonathan says just surviving, truthfully. Oh, that doesn't sound too good. I know that you guys have had a lot going on over on the islands. So yeah, hope you're doing okay. Mm. Robin says it's called dinner theatre. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I'm sure Ray would just be fucking delighted to have to listen to me whilst he's eating his tea. Uh, you don't call dinner tea, do you? That probably sounds. See, to be fair, I don't really call my dinner my tea. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, I think it's a. Have I heard people from America calling their dinner their tea? I don't think so. But yeah, sometimes, um, Simon, I'm sure you do. I'm sure I've heard you calling your dinner your tea. I'm going to get my tea. Yeah. Anyway, feels I'm very distracted and all over the place today. So hopefully as the live goes on, that's going to, my brain will chill out a wee bit. I bought and received the Trionfi della Luna Paradoxical Rose Edition. Very nice, very fancy. Are you enjoying it, Kristen? I have got the Trionfi della Luna, the standard edition. I think it's the English text edition. And I've got that's the illustrated Trumps Trionfi della Luna. I think my other Triumph Luna is back somewhere. Um, but yeah, I think it's the English titles version I've got, if I remember rightly. Red Wing just got in off to make dinner. What are you having? Come on, guys. You know that if you're telling me you're having your dinner, you need to tell me what you're having. If you're drinking something, I want to know what it is. If you're eating something, I want to know what it is. Purely because I'm nosy. Uh, you look fine. Oh, as in my height. I was like, I look fine. I was like, thanks, thanks, I guess. But no, I think you're talking about when I was adjusting my chair, aren't you? Yeah, a spread. I always enjoy doing group spreads. Yeah, me too. Robin says, low down, Chris. Like some rascal out of an old-timey west. Malamir's here. Hi, all. Still trying to avoid reading comments, but I can read for a couple seconds before getting nauseous. But I'm here. So Malamir is here and listening. So if you've got any urgent messages for Malamir, then let me know and I can read it out. And that way Malamir can join in the chat. Um, let's see. So Kristen is having chicken and roasted veggies. Very nice. That sounds lovely. Um, what did I have for dinner? We just had chips in the air done in the air fryer and like an omelette. But Sandy made it was beautiful. I have to admit, Sandy had made put cheese through it whilst it was cooking, and when it was done, he put some like I think we had some sour cream in the fridge. So it just kind of a spread, a thin. I know it sounds weird, but thin layer of sour cream on top and then the chips on top. And we've got it's called baconaise. I got like bacon flavored mayonnaise. I think it was last week to try. So I had that as like my dip. Really basic dinner, but it was beautiful. I really enjoyed it. Hi Naomi, how are you doing? Naomi, we're going to later on. We're going to pull some cards. We're going to do a spread, kind of like what Jelly did on her, what Jelly does, and what she used to do more often on our lives. Uh, so if you've got a deck handy, then well, I say grab it, but probably wouldn't do that until wee bit later. I'm noticing some buttons down the bottom here that I've not seen before, and I want to press them, but I don't want to make a mess of things. But I'm going to press them. Oh no! Uh, cancel. Yeah, I won't press the buttons again. Kristen says that's what I was about to say. He thinks you're lovely, but not during dinner. Oh, thank you. Thanks very much. Full of compliments. You're looking fine. We don't want to listen to you during dinner. Oh, um, it sounds odd eating my tea. I like, oh, sorry, it's like using a knife and fork to tackle a hot beverage in a cup. Yeah, I know. I knew that was what it sounded like when I said it. Tony's asking. Oh, hi, Tony. By the way, Tony's asking if it's the third edition that Kristen's got. Um, oh, it's the illustrated Pips version. Ah, I didn't realise that they were doing that in different, like with different filters. Robin says, "Okay, I just ate a mini ice cream cone, vanilla dipped in a chocolate shell. That sounds very nice, Robin. Pizza sounds divine. Oh, Red Wing, post pub pizza. Oh, very nice. What kind of toppings do you like on your pizza? Are you a pineapple type of person, or are you anti-pineapple, or do you just not give a shit? Um, I don't have any moral objections to pineapple on pizza, certainly not as much as what some do, but it's not something that I want on my pizza. That's my feelings on the matter. Oh, sorry, we got that. Tony says, "Ah, yeah, I have that one. Rose is my favourite version." Nice. Janine says, "Oh, Kristen, I'm wanting roast chicken, potatoes, sprouts, Yorkshire pudding with gravy. I had a very lazy and uninspiring scrambled eggs." That's a wee bit more like mine. um, there's tea in my mug, and I had a roast dinner for tea. Very nice, Tony. Very nice. I'm having a delicious desserts Belgian chocolate mousse cup. It's layered with ganache. That sounds very fancy. Um, it's a fancy bitch little pudding that you've got there, Marita, and I'm very jealous because it sounds nice. Kristen has spotlighted Malamir's new deck, which can be pre-ordered today. It came out today for pre-order. The Cat Aura Tarot, and very kindly has put a link in the chat to it. So thank you for that, Kristen. Um, Naomi is going to grab one now. Uh, Kathy's here. Hi, Kathy. How are you? Oh, Malamir says thank you to Kristen. Hi, Laurie. Laurie's here. How you doing? Lovely to see you. We're talking about what we had for dinner, Laurie, and what we're drinking. So feel free to just drop in the chat. What have you had to eat, and what are you having to eat if you haven't had dinner yet? And have you got a cup of tea? You've got a coffee? What are you drinking? I used to be a pineapple person, but now all I've been craving is pepperoni. I love a pepperoni pizza. I love a meat feast pizza, to be honest. Domino's over here, I don't know if you guys have it, they do a Meteor, it's called, and it basically has it's like a carnivore pizza. Um, so anyone who's vegetarian or vegan, close your ears. But yeah, like any of the like your bacon, your chorizo, your meatballs, your I don't think it's got any chicken on it actually, but all of that stuff, it's just and barbecue sauce as well. Gotta have barbecue sauce. It's beautiful. Robin likes crispy bacon on his pizza or green olives. Obviously, I'm a salt fiend. Sandy likes olives on his pizza. I think olives are bouthing. I think they're disgusting. Um, I'm anti-pineapple, but my boyfriend is pro-pineapple, says Marita. Um, they come in their own little glass pots. Oh, your dessert pot thing. Jonathan says, if I could still eat pizza, I would totally eat Hawaiian pizza, which was actually invented in California, and put pineapple, ham, and black olives. Uh, what is it that makes you not able to eat pizza, Jonathan? Is it dairy that you don't eat? Try to remember. Uh, Kristen says, I assume spam is a popular pizza topping there. Ever heard of spam being used as a pizza topping? Pizza we got oh, this has just become the pizza talk chat now, isn't it? We're just still talking about pizza. Um, do you know what? I wanted pizza as well. I was ready for ordering a Pizza Hut, and Sandy talked some sense into me, uh, which was impressive now I think about it, because usually once I've got it in my head that I want a takeaway, I'm getting like bitches getting her takeaway. Do you know what I mean? So I'm impressed that he was able to talk me round now that I think about it. But yeah, I had scrambled. Do you know, it's just as well though, because so do, do you all know what ASOS is? So in case it's not a worldwide thing, ASOS is you order clothes. It's an app on your phone and you can go on and order clothes. So because I've said before, but in work I now go into the office 2 days a week, and work from home 2 days a week, which is a big change from only having to go into the office like 1 day a month. But yeah, I was like, I need to get like some jeans for going into the office. My office is dressed down, but they don't like you wearing jeans that have got like rips in them. And a lot of my jeans, as you can see, as I so gracefully demonstrated, have rips in them. So actually trying to find a pair of jeans that fit me that don't have any rips in them was a challenge. I think I only had like 2 pairs of trousers that I could wear into work. So I thought, right, I'm going to go online and order myself some jeans, and ordered a couple of pairs, and you had to get it over a certain amount to get free delivery. And I was like, well, I might as well just order one more thing and get free delivery. So I did, and I got lovely denim shirt. And I thought I'll get that size. Be that'll be absolutely fine. Came today and I tried it on, and I swear to God, I need to stop eating takeaways. Put it that way. Um, like yeah, no, it wasn't flattering. I will not be wearing that until I've lost considerable amount of weight, and I refuse point blank to order the next size up, let me tell you. So, yeah, it was like, you know, how I managed to squeeze into that thing, you'd think someone had tried to put a condom on an elephant. It was that bad. So that is where my self-esteem is today. Um, it's just as well that I can take the piss out of myself. That's one thing about people from Glasgow. If a Scottish person ever takes the piss out of you, don't take offence. That is our nature. That's how we express, that's how we show endearment to people. Is we just take the mick. Uh, so yeah. Anyway, that's a thing. Moving on. Yeah. So Debbie, you said I had scrambled egg and sausage pizza today. Pizza. I want pizza. I want sausage pizza. Just a few anchovies and mixed veg to fully load it up. It's between breakfast and lunch here, says Jonathan. Fair enough. Um, I've had ham and chips and currently drinking water as ham made me thirsty, uh, says Naomi. Ah, right, okay. Was it quite like the ham steak things that you had? Ham can be like that, especially if it's quite salty. It can be quite dehydrating. I've not long had my tea pesto pasta. I had that for lunch, and now I feel hungry again listening to this chat because I'm a greedy batch. Yeah, I can relate. Jen says, "Hey Chris and all, been listening since the beginning, but finally sat down to say hi. It's lovely to see you, Jen. How are you doing? Hope you're doing all right. And how are Dean and the kids? How's everybody doing?" No, Charlie's Red Wing, I'm not a fan of ring sting. Yeah, no, same. Uh, I had to walk up the chippy as I had to walk up to the chippy as I'm home alone. My kids have gone to a concert in Leeds and couldn't be bothered to just cook for me. Ah, right, okay, fair enough. Oh, not about Spam, not that I've seen. Usually Spam is sold in musubi form, rice and Spam wrapped in seaweed. Mm, fair enough. My favourite pizza order is a Detroit-style thick crust meat lovers with mushrooms and onions, extra pizza sauce, and baked well done. Nice. Oh, excuse me for yawning. Drinking water and thinking about fried green tomatoes for dinner. Naomi loves a chippy tea. Jonathan is saying, I can't have the dairy or the nightshades. Tomatoes, peppers, potatoes, eggplant. Okay. Um, yeah, yeah, it's a bit shit in that. I was going to say you can get like cheese-free pizzas, but if you can't have the tomato either, then I mean, what does that leave you with? So yeah, it's a shame. In New York, which is famous for its pizza, Domino's is the lowest of the low. I still eat it sometimes, but it's like the fast food version of a delectable food. Oh, okay. I love Domino's. Domino's is lovely here. Jonathan, what about pesto, edible veggies, and feta on a thin stone back sourdough back, a thin stone back sourdough base? Does sound nice. I've made like pizzas before with like a gammon steak as the base rather than I was obviously for me it wasn't so much about tolerances, it was try to eat a wee bit healthier. So rather than the dough, using something like a battered down chicken breast or like a gammon steak or even like a wrap. I don't know if there's any wraps that you can eat. Uh, but yeah, see folks in New York wearing jeans that are more holes than fabric. Like wearing a thong. Uh, oh, bake, so stone bake. Yeah, that makes sense. Right, okay. Connie, I get you. Condom and an elephant. Yeah, not flattering. Not flattering at all. Um, Debbie says, I tried jeans on in 4 different sizes and they all fit the same. I would never be able to order them online. Um, yeah, I'd usually don't, to be fair. Usually I go into shops and get them. But to be honest, I'm a pretty simple kind of a guy usually when it comes to clothes. Like I'm usually kind of a stick to the same style of jeans and the same sizes. And depending on the style, the size, I might have a wee bit of leeway in size. Do you know what I mean? Like on the waist size and stuff. Um, but yeah, it's just my luck that I would order online and then yeah. Uh, Jordan says the best pizza I had was in Maui. Uh, Best pizza I had on Maui was from Pizza Madness. There's a new place called Black Rock Pizza that is supposed to be good. I like bacon on pizza too, says Laurie. When I lived in Illinois, there was a small chain that had super thin crust pizza. Oh no, see, I like a nice deep pan pizza. Um, yeah, if you were to offer me like a thin crust or a like pan pizza, I would take the pan pizza any day of the week. But my husband's the opposite. I think he prefers the thin crust, thin and crispy. Ham off the bone, very salty. Yeah. Tony, as long as the pesto isn't made with dairy. Yeah, I mean, we make Sandy makes his own pesto, and I know he does put Parmesan cheese through it, but I mean, you wouldn't need to do that. He makes it with like peas, basil. I actually don't know what else. That's terrible. I'm lucky that Sandy does. Sandy does pretty much all the cooking here, so he does. Um, and the feta is made from goat cheese. Um, Tony says absolutely. I've never heard of them any other way. Oddly, I like both thin crust and deep dish. There's a battle between New York and Chicago style pizzas, but they feel like different animals to me. Yeah, I would agree with that actually. Um, the Chicago style pizzas, the kind of a pizza pie type things, definitely feel like a totally different thing. They're amazing. There's a place in town. I think it's Thundercats. That does them and they're beautiful. Right, Kristen's going to make dinner. We'll come back after we're done. Enjoy, Kristen. Enjoy your chicken and your roast veg. Do they offer deep dish style pizza in Scotland? Yeah, so I just said that. I didn't see your question, Robin, but yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Thundercats, which is like a pub in town that does them, and they do them really well. Um, I really need to go back there. Um, let's see, you doing okay, thanks. Dean and Carol are fabulous. Still don't know how Chloe's doing. Like, that's a shame. I'm glad to hear that Dean and Carol are doing okay though. That's good to hear. How's Carl getting on? What's he been doing? Uh, try to think. It's so Carl will have left school, won't he? But what's he doing with himself, Jen? The best pizza I've ever had was in Rome with fried squash blossoms on top. The crust was crunchy the whole way through. Nice. Um, Marita says my girlfriend is vegan. She would order a pizza with no cheese, but all the veggies. It's actually quite tasty. Mm. I think that so thin crust and deep dish. I think they each have their merits. Maybe it depends on the day, the moon phase, etc. Says Laurie. Yeah. Time check. It's 9:29, so I'm 5 minutes behind, but I think I'm just about to catch up with oh no, it's actually jumping. I'm not too far behind. I'm nearly at the bottom. Sometimes I make English muffin mini pizzas at home, toast a muffin, add sauce, cheese, and bacon bits. Yeah, that can be nice. People likely. Do you know what else is nice actually? See if you get it's wraps again, but so I love Domino's do like it's called a double decadence pizza, and it's like two thin crust, like thin layers of crust with a cheese spread in between. It is beautiful. Um, but I like to kind of make that with two wraps and like a dairy or like some sort of cheese spread. Oh, it's so good. Um, but people like tuna, prawn, and garlic mixed thespians with loads of garlic, olive oil, and rosemary before putting on top of the tuna. Mixed thespians. Oh, prawns, not thespians. I was going to say, I don't think I think the thespians might object to being put on your pizza. Um, I love veggie pizza, including chili and coriander on top. Used to love uh, I don't know what that word does. Pepe jeans? Pep? Pepe? Pep? As they did half sizes. Ah, right, okay. Nice. Tony says there's an old brand. Um, I think if they're still going, they're expensive now. But I love that you could get in between sizes, yeah. John says, I love making my own pesto using kale, basil, pine nuts, and mac nut mix, avocado oil, and nutritional yeast in place of the parmesan, and some other things depending on what's in the house. Nice. Yeah, that sounds lovely. Sandy uses peas, like garden peas. And I hate garden peas. I hate peas, but it's actually nice. It's actually really nice. I like the second-hand Levi tables in C&A, says Tony. Crumpets soaked in. God, we've got now get like a totally mixed conversation going on between clothes and pizza. Crumpets soaked in a scrambled egg mix to fill the holes with chopped red chili. Mild, slowly fried, served with ketchup. Tony, was it not you that just said that you don't want you don't want chili because it will give you ring sting? Or was that someone else that said that? Um, Best exotic pizza ever I had was from the Middle East. Crust with no sauce, but garlic, onion, green olives, and feta cheese. It was so yummy. Nice. Patsy's daughter likes cheese folded into a wrap and then toasted. Oh yeah, that'd be good. Jen says Carl is working full time in a type of blacksmith role. He's currently trying to save and get a loan for his dream car, which is a Corvette. Can't remember the year and model. So he's in a great. Oh, good for him. I'm really happy to hear that. That's really good. Well done, Carl. Um, when I used to do Slimming World, I used to enjoy the pizza chicken with the butterfly chicken topped with tomatoes, cheese, and peppers. Yeah, that's what I do. I do Slimming World. My mum is a Slim World consultant. Yep. Mild, large red chili. Remove all the inners first. Okay. Right. So we're on 20 to 10. We want to get a wee bit of the turning the tarot on its head chat going. I'd said the word for the week is fake. Lots of chat going on right now about fakeness. We've talked about fake decks, in line with all the AI stuff. Lots of fake people going about just now. Uh, there's always lots of fake people going about. But yeah, I thought, if it's it's something that we see often, so it's something the tarot should be able to talk to us about. So, what cards in the tarot would say fake to you? What cards in the tarot might describe a person or an object or a situation as false, as fake, as artificial? So I'll start off. It would have been helpful if I had the cards ready to talk about, but I don't. So I'll just talk whilst I'm looking for them, and hopefully I'll find them sooner rather than later. The first one is the obvious one. That's the Seven of Swords. So to me, the Seven of Swords describes um, it's a situation that's kind of a quite often that's underhand. I think at its core for me, it's about not taking the traditional approach, not taking the obvious approach, but in lots of the kind of illustrated decks, it's often comes across as sneaky, as deceptive, as underhand. So the Seven of Swords is definitely for me a card that might come up to describe something or someone as fake. You know, definitely has an air of you're not seeing the full picture here. This person, or the way that you're seeing this thing or this person or whatever, it's not how it actually is, and you need to examine that more closely. Um, right, so there's the first one, the Seven of Swords. So let me move my coffee and these piles of cards. Don't mind me. So there's the Seven of Swords. So here we see someone who's kind of it looks as though they're hiding behind a door in the darkness and the shadows, looking out, and we don't know what they're looking out onto. But we can actually only see they're in profile, so we only see half of them. And then even at that, the half we can see, like part of it is really kind of a shadowed out. To the point where we can barely see any of this person, and it just feels, it feels dangerous almost. It feels like we really need to be careful here, and we don't know fully what's going on. That's to me, I look at that's just this image, and I think, right, there's someone around about me that I need to watch out for, or there's something going on where I'm not seeing the full picture. Okay, so I think this is definitely a card that could talk about fakeness. Um, the next one that I've got is actually the Seven of Cups, from the point of view that the Seven of Cups to me is a card about fantasy. It's a card about imagination. Um, it's a card about sometimes illusion. It's quite often when the Seven of Cups comes up for me, it's saying in a good way or in a bad way, this is a fantasy that this is you're imagining. It depends on the context, but it's like you're not seeing the situation for what it is, for whatever reason. It might be that it's encouraging you to do that. It's encouraging you to use your imagination. You need to imagine the possibilities. You need to see. Let your imagination run wild. Um, But it could also be coming up and saying, right, you've got your head in the clouds, you need to pull your head out your arse. You need to actually get your brain, activate your brain and analyze this situation and see it for what it is, because you're going to land yourself in trouble if you don't kind of open up your eyes sooner or later. Um, so for that reason, Seven of Cups. And then the other one that I thought of is the Four of Cups. And I thought of that because the Four of Cups can sometimes be about, again, I'm just talking about for me, but it can be like shallowness. Um, Sometimes, we look at this person and they aren't appreciating the opportunities that are in front of them. M- Sometimes the way that that comes across, it's almost like they're not appreciating it because it's like it's beneath them. It's too menial. Um, So, or equally, I think maybe in the Tarot of the She, it shows someone looking into their reflection. So it's kind of a more narcissistic interpretation. But there can be an air of shallowness about the Four of Cups. Um, so for that reason, it's like this can sometimes mean like you're not looking deep enough. Deep enough. You're only seeing the very surface of what's going on. You're not taking the time to appreciate this person, this situation, this opportunity for what it actually is. Um, so for that reason, to me, that could also be, there's also a kind of a fakeness theme about that. So, what do you guys think? Tony says the moon. Oh yeah, that's a good one to actually. I totally agree. The moon. I agree with you. The moon for me, yep, you're in a situation where it's that reflected light, isn't it? It's that kind of a like cast shadows and almost nothing is what it seems. Um, it's a more deceptive light than that of the sun. So yeah, definitely. Janine, Seven of Swords, definitely. Robin says the Seven of Swords as well. The Five of Swords also. Okay. Um, tell me more, Robin. Tell me more about the Five of Swords. Why would you interpret that as fake? I'm interested. Six of Pentacles, the shadow side of it, being not really what you see. Right, okay, so we're seeing someone who's like, who appears to be being charitable, generous, but then the shadow side of that, you know, often it looks to me like, is this person doing this out of kindness? Is this really an act of kindness, or is there an ulterior motive to this? So yeah, I get that. The moon for not seeing things how they really are, says Kathy. Yeah. Robin says the Hierophant if you take the organized religion interpretation. Okay. Yeah, some organized religion can come across as being very fake. I mean, I might get myself into trouble here, but I think any so I think a person can have a sense of knowing within themselves. So like we can know within ourselves what what's out there, whatever it is, whether it's what happens after you pass away, um, what's out there, we can have our own sense of knowing about that. We can have what resonates with us. So I would never dream of thinking that an individual, like I'd never attach fakeness to an individual's sense of knowing. What I don't have as much, um, what I'm not as cool with is when we start saying, right, that's my sense of knowing, therefore I'm going to put this on everyone or on all of you. I believe this, therefore everyone has to believe this. I think that is, there's a sense of fakeness to that. And essentially, that is, do correct me if I'm wrong, but to me, that at its core is what organized religion does. It tells people what to believe. Um, so from that very narrow point of view, I suppose, yeah, like the higher from the organized religion point of view, it can be very fake. The devil will often suggest narcissism to me, so therefore fake in a sense. Yep, totally agree. The devil is obvious. Robin says, yeah. The Knight of Cups in reverse, maybe a bit of a narcissist. Okay, yeah. Maybe the Hanged Man, says Robin. Okay, interesting. Ah, the Magician. I never thought of that. The Magician and his snake oil salesman role. Fake it till you make it vibes. Yeah, that kind of a street magician type, the Marseille type magician, definitely. The kind of a drawing people in, and nothing is what it seems. Yeah, yeah, I'm there for that. I didn't elaborate on the moon, sorry, it did feel obvious. Oh, that's okay. Uh, I was just gonna mention the magician too, the sleight of hand, says Marita, yeah. Oh yeah, right, okay, the Five of Swords for me is not playing fairly by the rules. It's like pretending to be honest but cheating. So being false and being fake. Right, okay, I've got you. I've got you. Um, indoctrination, says Tony, yeah, for the Hierophant. The Doreen virtue effect. Yeah. Talking of, I only just found out Kat Von D has done a 180 on her spiritual journey. Not sure who Kat Von D is. Cool. So we had quite a lot of cards mentioned there, so we did. John says Kat Von D does whatever gets her attention. I'll need to look her up now. Or maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I shouldn't actually give her the. I'm always reluctant to look things up or click on videos that I feel are just if it's someone that I don't that I know some that I don't want to give attention to, I try to resist like looking them up. Um, but yeah, right. It is save it for off the air, Chris. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't going to do it right now. I meant later, but then I'm like, no, maybe I won't. Oh, a tattoo artist and a tarot reader. Nice Tony. Right, okay. Um, well, thanks for that. I appreciated everyone's thoughts there. That was really good. Um, yeah, it'd be really good to put all of these together. So I know I've said that before, and I said I was going to do it when it would be more manageable to do. But yeah, going back and like pulling together all of these thoughts, you know, and the different themes and the cards that we associate to them and the reasons why we associate them. Um, I just think it's a different way of looking at the tarot. It's turning the tarot on its head. Right, the spread that I've got. So, as I said before, we'll pull some cards together. I'm not going to take questions today. We'll do something a wee bit different. If you've got a deck handy, go get it. It doesn't have to be tarot. It can be whatever, whatever you want to read with. Um, I did this a while back. I think it was Ginger Faye. On her channel, she was doing something similar, and I grabbed a deck of Pokemon cards and I read with that. So you can read with anything. It's a 5 card spread. Oh, Kristen's back. Have you got a deck, Kristen? We're just going to start doing the spread. Um, and this is a spread. It's really just about looking at a particular situation and getting some advice. That's how I would describe this spread. It doesn't have a very catchy heading, I'm afraid. Uh, I kind of started out with one that I found online and decided that I didn't like some of the prompts, and I thought, "Ugh, I'm, I'm, I'm just going to kind of change this up and make it something else." But this will be a good spread if there's a particular situation that's causing you trouble or just something that you want to look at and get advice on in your life, then this will be a good spread for that. It's a 5 card spread. It's in the shape of the cross, so one in the center and then 4 on each side. And I'll give you each of the prompts as we do it. So I'm using the Tarot of the Abyss by Anaturian. I've been using that all day, during the whole live, so you probably noticed that by now. But yeah, I I really like this deck, so I wanted to pull it out and use it. In fact, stick in the chat if you guys are using if you're slinging along, then tell me what deck you're using. Okay, so I have an idea. If you want, have an idea in your mind of the situation that you're wanting to look at. When you're ready, pull your first card, and this is going to be the center card, and this is just going to generally describe the situation. Okay. Um, okay. So I've got the magician card here. This magician is part of a tree. Um, right. Let's have a wee look at what she says in the book about this. So the magician stands centered, his gaze steady and full of intent. There is no ordinary man, he is a blender of paths, the one who grasps the heavens and yet is still rooted to Mother Earth. There are no barriers for him, since his world is boundless. The magician harvests the energies of both earth and sky, fusing them to his core. He's wise and known, his power a gift given freely from the source of all. In this card, there are no human tools on hand. There is no elemental representation, since he himself holds all the elements within. Fire is at his core, his spiral energy is harnessed. Air is within his mental capacity and ability to maintain the perfect balance. Water flows as his emotions, turning deep below the surface. And last but not least, earth grounds him, his roots providing a constant connection to what to that which nourishes the body and all living things. And it does go on, but I won't keep reading. Um, okay, so I suppose for me that's quite a promising card because if this describes the situation, to me what that's saying is you're right where you need to be. You've got everything that you need to navigate the situation, even though it might not seem like it. So we're used to seeing magician cards that have got the sword and the wand and the pentacle and the cup, or that that have some representation of the four elements. This one doesn't, but that's been done on purpose because it's drawn attention to the fact that it doesn't need to be flashy. It doesn't all need to be kind of out there. This magician has everything within, and we can see that they're both grounded. They're rooted in the ground, rooted in the earth, but also they extend out into the sky, into the ether, into the above. So a really kind of a strong sense of connectedness and a strong sense of you're where you need to be. You hold the power. You have everything that you need in order to you know in order to get to where you need to get to, in order to deal with the situation in the best possible way. So that's quite a good start to the reading. So again, this the first card. It describes the general situation. So let me know what you guys have got if you're pulling along with me. So Naomi says, "Get a deck, Kristen." Um, you're supposed to chew your food, says Robin. I'm grabbing Soul Sparkle Tarot, says Jonathan. It's the easiest to grab. I did kind of scarf it too, she says. Um, yeah, she did my spread Sunday on a live. She hasn't done them. She hasn't done them for a while. Yeah, yeah, I know. Um, oh, sorry, you talking about ginger. I thought we were talking about jelly there. Uh, Happened to do my daily with the animal Orientaro, that one on your channel, so that's what I'm using. Oh, that's nice. Do you know I've not used that deck in a while? Not pulled that out in ages. I should pull that out soon. Naomi's using the Zany Tarot. Terra Volatile it is then, says Tony. I'm using Triomphe Paradoxical Rose, says Kristen. Kathy's using Robin Wood. I was talking about the Robin Wood just yesterday, I think. I was answering comments on my YouTube, and we were talking about backing decks, and I was saying I wanted to do that with my. Oh no, no, sorry, I beg your pardon. It's not the Robin Wood. That's the Wildwood I'm thinking of. Laurie's using the Tarot of Oneness. Malamir's just listening along because she's lying down. Um, the traditional manga tarot is on top of the pile, says Marita. Uh, Janine is using Tarot of the Haunted House. Deanne is back and is watching. If you've got a deck handy, Deanne, then grab it. We're going to sling some cards. So the first one, this is a spread. It's a 5 card spread. Really good for just looking at general situations. The first one just describes the situation, just an overview of the situation. Naomi's got the sun. Been wanting to work on my joy. Need to make time for fun. That's really nice. Jonathan's first card is the Six of Swords. So what are you thinking about that? Marita's got the Five of Swords. Um, Janine's got the Seven of Cups. Your interpretation was very apt for my current situation. Oh, so is that you need to pull your head out your backside and and look at the situation um, a bit more closely type thing? Or is it about imagining the possibilities, using your imagination more? Tony says, uh, brilliant. My focus is just what is fake. I got the Six of Cups, almost the Six of Pentacles. My first card is the Six of Swords as well, so same as Jonathan. Okay, so a bit of a transitional period then, a bit of maybe a bit of healing period for you both. King of Pentacles, Debbie's got. What animal is on the King of Pentacles in the Animal Orient Tarot? Robin's got the Hangman. I guess I'm dangling in limbo a bit. Ace of Wands for Laurie. Okay, so a new exciting endeavour then, something new and new opportunity maybe, or new kind of a sense of being inspired or feeling passionate about something. Queen of Wands, the current situation, one of courage and spunk and passion, maybe a social butterfly energy, says Kristen. Nice, I like that. My booklet says the Five of Swords is defeating challenges. Okay, okay, so there's challenges going on around about you then, Marita. Um, I got the Page of Swords, which shows someone primed and ready to fly, quite apt for my present situation. Nice, nice, okay. And Deanne is going to do the spread later. Chaos. Oh dear. Okay. The second card, um, it's your it goes above, it's your head, it's your brain, it's your thoughts, it's the kind of a mental realm. So this is how you know, how your head is with the situation. This is what you think about the situation. It's the kind of a logical side to it. And it's quite apt that I get a swords card. So I've got the Queen of Swords. So that again feels quite positive to me. This suggests someone who I always think of the Queen of Swords as someone who can, who's really in touch with her intellect, with her mind. She can communicate really well as well, and for that reason, she makes a really good kind of a teacher. She's good at explaining things, but she's just really good at kind of a penetrating all of the bullshit that goes on and getting to the meat of the matter and understanding it. Okay, I do. I'm kind of struck by the image though, because as much as it's great to have that, to have that powerful tool, to have your mind as that tool. See how she's resting her head against her sword and she's got her eyes closed. So there almost feels as though there might be a bit of an element of overthinking to this, which I'm a big overthinker, so that doesn't make sense. Um, but it doesn't take away from the overall kind of a, you've got this, you're fine. There's nothing wrong with how you're thinking about it. You're not thinking about it the wrong way. You're maybe liable to overthinking it a bit, but you know, you're you're still right where you need to be. I'm also look at both cards have a really dark background. Um, so as much as they're really positive cards, they're you can't help but I don't want to say it's not depressing, but it is quite dark and gloomy. Okay, so all that says to me is that I need to be careful because I'm maybe at a bit of a risk of being dragged down by the situation that this is describing, by what's going on around about me. Um, so as much as I'm in a good place, I need to make sure that I'm looking out for like self care and looking after myself and things like that. That's just a way that I like to bring in like colours, or in this case, like the shades of the cards. Marita says every day is a challenge. For card two, Robin has got the Two of Swords. Can't make up my mind. Fair enough, yeah. The Emperor flew out of the deck for Debbie. Um, the Queen, the Queen of Swords here as well, says Tony. Right, okay, so you've got the Queen of Swords too. Kristen got the Devil. My mind is either fixated on something unhealthy or ready to let go of social constraints. I'm thinking the latter. Jonathan, the second card is the Four of Cups with the Six of Swords. I see this as trying to find hope in a hopeless situation, or seeing the hope but not knowing how to reach it. Yeah. Naomi has the Three of Swords. This is telling me that I'm focusing too much on old situations that didn't bring joy and I'm hindering my path. Right, okay, okay. I like that interpretation in the Three of Swords, Naomi. The Empress for me, um, I'm trying to focus on some self-care whilst going through my challenges, says Patsy. Okay, I like that. Like that. You can never have too much self-care. The second card for Marita is the Knight of Pentacles. So your thoughts are on grounding yourself. A slow, methodical approach is what's needed at this time. Take your time, although the groundwork has been laid, there is still more to do. Okay. Yeah, kind of a slow and steady wins the race mentality, I would think of with the Knight of Pentacles, I think. Um, yeah. The Knight of Cups reversed, I swear I cannot make this up. Situation, me disillusioned about my ex. Um, how think about the situation is being a bit deceptive. Right, okay, okay. So your first card, oh, I'm trying to remember now. The Seven of Cups it was, wasn't it? So the Seven of Cups and then the Knight of Cups reverse. So that really does feel like someone is trying to deceive you, doesn't it? Um, Maybe it is just because we've just had that discussion. But yeah, yeah, the Seven of Cups brings in that kind of that illusion. It suggests that what you're seeing, the options that are being presented before you might not be what they seem. And then that Knight of Cups kind of that energy coming in there, that shadow kind of aspect of that, it makes it feel like, okay, right, maybe there's, maybe there's a human factor in this. Um, Laurie's got the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so kind of I suppose that teamwork aspect. Um, Card two for Kathy is the Eight of Swords. Self-limiting beliefs are coming into play because I'm Queen of self-sabotage. Right, okay. Okay, self-limiting beliefs are coming into play. Okay. What was your first card, Kathy? Just looking back up. The Page of Swords. Right, the Page of Swords, which showed someone primed and ready to fly, but the Eight of Swords is where your head's at. Right, okay. Okay, so the situation is you are primed and ready to fly, but in your own mind, you're limiting yourself. Okay. So hopefully, as the spread goes on, we'll be able to get some advice on how we go about the situation. So hopefully, those cards will help. Right, card three is it's your gut or your heart, if you prefer, but it's your feelings on the matter. So this is the logical side. This is your head, your brain, your mental faculty, your thoughts. This is the kind of a logical side of it. Now we come to I suppose the irrational side of it. It's your feelings. It's what's your body telling you about the situation. It's what is your instinct on the situation. Um, oh, I've got the Ten of Cups. It's interesting because so the Ten of Cups as the feelings card should be, in theory, it should be brilliant, happy times. I think this has been about being happy with the people that you're around about, whether that's your family or, depending on what the situation is. If this was describing something in your career, then it might be your team. But it describes you being where you need to be um, within that family or within that team or within, whatever it might be. Um, so there's a feeling of being at home, I suppose, and a feeling of belonging. However, when I look at this image, I'm seeing someone who's been led away from their home potentially. They're being led away from a situation, and it looks as though they've not made their mind up yet. They're not actually sure that they want to go. They're still a wee bit torn between staying here and going with this person. So to me, that's what I'm taking from this as being the kind of the gut on this. It's the emotional side of this. It's this feeling of being torn. It's this feeling of uncertainty. It's, I suppose, a feeling of a bit of fear of the unknown. Um, I'm being drawn away from from what I'm comfortable with, but in my heart, I'm not quite sure that that's the direction that I want to go in yet. Um, let's see. Debbie has the Ten of Wands. Okay, so that's quite. I mean, I suppose it depends on the Ten of Wands, really. Um, but if you're using like you're using the Animalorian style, so um, depends on how you interpret that one. So Ten of Wands is really high fire energy. Um, Quite often it can be a bit of an overload. Uh, it describes a situation where you're almost burdened. Um, Let me. I'm interested now. What were your other cards? King of Pence was one of your cards. So the King of Pentacles was your first card. So I'm just being nosy now. And then the Emperor. So the King of Pentacles and the Emperor. Um, and then Ten of Wands. I mean, that to me, that sounds like you're trying to do too much. Because the King of Pentacles and the Emperor are very kind of a businessmen type cards. I'm just thinking of the kind of a traditional Smith way. They're the kind of the business people cards. Very similar cards when you look at the Smith way as well. Um, as in they both appear to have armor on underneath, like kind of a clothing. Um, and then that Ten of Wands is like, so you've got a lot on your plate. You're very responsible for a lot of things just now. I mean, mentally, psychologically, in your head, you're all there. You're in control. Everything's hunky dory. Maybe, you know, in some less obvious ways, it's taking its toll a wee bit. And again, I've seen, like a few people have seen, there's maybe a bit of a kind of a self-care kind of a type thing. This might be talking about. Five of Wands says, Jonathan, my feelings are conflicted. Um, I got a Five of Wands, says Kathy, a bit of inner conflict between wanting to get started and the fear of change and failure. Tony's got the Eight of Swords, so unclear and muddied feelings, is unable to separate or detach, not able to see it for what it is due to too many emotions creating stuckness. Okay. Janine says the Hierophant. Okay. So I'm trying to think, what does the Hierophant mean from an emotional point of view? Suppose it depends how you interpret it with the other cards and stuff, and how you generally interpret the Hierophant. First thing that comes to my mind is maybe a bit of emotionally relying on other people, or maybe not people, but it's like dependency, emotional dependency almost. Um, like it's linked to something else. I don't really know where that thought's going. Uh, so Robin, first card was the Hangman, the second card was the Two of Swords, and the third card is the Six of Wands. Okay. So celebrating taking life as it comes, not having to make decisions now, or being forced into one direction or another. Yeah, that's quite a nice place to be. That's the thing, isn't it? We don't always have to have everything worked out in our heads. Um, Sometimes our job isn't to have every step of the journey planned out. Sometimes our job is actually just to enjoy the journey itself. Um, and if you've got the Six of Wands for your kind of an emotional house, then it sounds like it's exactly what you're doing. Four of Swords for Kristen. I'm feeling like I have found a space in which to emotionally recuperate. That's nice. So a beaver building a dam, never ending work. Right, okay. Okay, cool. So that like you're shoveling up snow in a snowstorm type idea. The lovers, says Naomi, start to believe in what I already know. What I once had is still there. Right, okay, okay. Situation is still work, says Debbie. Patsy, so death. So I guess through all these challenges I'm working through and all the chaos in my life and all the changes, will bring about the changes my life needed. Okay. Yeah. Death's linked to Scorpio. And Scorpio is quite a, when you look at it through the emotional lens or, from a thoughts and feelings type lens, Scorpio is that kind of a darker side of our emotions. It's the stuff that is the taboo almost, stuff we don't want to talk about. Um, the stuff we don't want to talk about, but we do. It's like the morbid fascinations that we have. These kind of things that we find ourselves drawn towards that we have in our head that we know we shouldn't, but we can't help ourselves. Um, death being one such topic, that the humankind are endlessly fascinated you know, with death and yeah. So there is that side of it as well. Emotions are in chaos and have been all year, so hoping that change hurries up. The Eight of Pentacles for Laurie, broadly looking at the finer details. Okay. The Fool for Marita, having faith in my new relationship. Yeah, from an emotional point of view, the Fool's just happy to be doing anything, aren't they? They're just kind of just willing to go along and full of joy. The Fool is like a really joyous energy, like joy for the sake of being joyous almost. So it's quite a nice energy to have in your heart, and it, it's something to draw on whilst you have it, I think. Janine says, I was traditionally loyal in relationship and was committed to him. But yes, emotional dependence fits as hard to deal with the end. As knew him 32 years ago from college, with him for 8 years. Don't worry about typos, that's fine. I'm sorry you're going through. Um, Wait, are you describing a difficult situation? Yeah, yeah, we were because we were talking about that kind of a deceptive air that's going on around about you just now. So yeah, I'm sorry that you're going through what must be quite difficult. Um, I'll complete this tomorrow night, night all, says Tony. I am generally joyful. I try to look at the bright side of life. That's a good way to be. Okay, card four. Cards four and five are going to be advice cards. So card four is what should you do? So the kind of a positive side of it, what should you do? What actions should you take um, to navigate the situation? Um, so I've got the Ten of Wands. Um, Interesting. So what does this mean? This, to me, the Ten of Wands, as a kind of a positive card, it's telling me, right, no one's saying that you can't carry these 10 wands, no one's saying that you can't do all of these things, but just think about the method, think about how you're doing it. Um, you know, like the example that I always use is carrying the shopping in from the car. There's no reason to try and carry all shopping bags in at once. Um, it's much more effective to make 2 trips and not, like, garrot your fingers in the process of trying to get the shopping into the house. So, what I need to do, I need to have confidence in myself. You can do it. At the end of the day, this person is managing to do what they're trying to do. They are managing to carry that burden, that load. And there's definitely a sense of accomplishment to be encouraged there. But just think about the method, think long term, think about the method that how you're doing it. Um, so yeah. What about you guys? Robin's fourth card is the Queen of Cups. So sitting pretty, watching the world go by, observe or expand awareness of the world around me. Interesting. So you've got that first card was the Hanged Man, and then now to the left of that. What deck are you using, Robin? So now you've got the Queen of Cups. Yeah, the Queen of Cups. To a very kind of a watery energy, isn't it? Oh, and Marita's fourth card is the Hanged Man. So wait patiently till the time is right. Definitely, definitely. Look at the situation from a different point of view as well. Okay. Quite often that is the value in the Hanged Man. It's about perspective and uh, you know, like you say, it's about waiting, delay, even, you know. Uh, yeah, what is the new position? I had a phone call. So position four is it's what to do, what should you do. Um, so it's an advice card and it's telling you what you should do to navigate the situation. Um, so what action should you take? What should you do? That type of thing. So Debbie's got the Page of Swords. So think of some new ways to get the job done. Definitely innovate, be innovative, communicate as well. I always think of the Page of Swords as being about communication. Sometimes about gossip, actually. I can't help but get a kind of a gossipy feel about the Page of Swords. So definitely have some conversations. Maybe there's information there, or there's some benefit to just having a wee chat around the water cooler type thing. Um, the Emperor says Patsy, so I need to take control and set up boundaries. Okay, I like that. The Fool, jump off a cliff, says Laurie. I suppose just go for it, isn't it? Like whatever the situation is, just throw yourself into it. Just trust the universe. Trust that this is right for you. Um, don't let, I was kind of saying earlier on, like don't feel like you need to have every single eventuality planned out. Um, just kind of like roll with it and see what happens. So Jonathan, first card, Six of Swords, second was Four of Cups, then we had the Five of Wands, and now we've got the Chariot. Time to take control of my own destiny. Interesting. So the Chariots, you're controlling those different aspects there, and controlling them in such a way that your chariot's been driven forward. So I'm just looking at. So Jonathan, you've got a four, a five, a six, and a seven so far. So I'll be interested to see your four of cups, your five of wands, your six of swords, and your seven, the chariot. So I'll be interested to see what your fifth card does, whether it's either an eight or a three. Um, just out of interest. Uh, I'm using a weird. I'm using a weird vintage deck, says Robin. Of course you are. Janine's got the three of pentacles, so teamwork, working together, collaborating. So don't feel like you have to do everything by yourself because there's a lot more to be achieved um, working with someone else than going at it alone. So obviously there's that yeah, that was you were talking about your ex, Janine. So that's not necessarily your ex, but maybe there's like I don't know a friend or there's definitely benefit to collaborating with someone else there. Naomi, Nine of Swords. Stop worrying about what others may think. Why am I equating age with being serious? Let go. Okay. The Knight of Swords for Kristen. Don't be impulsive. Avoid burnout. Be ambitious. Not sure. Let me see. What was your first card? So you said you were using the Triumphe Paradoxical Rose. Queen of Wands. Right, okay. So Queen of Wands was your situation. So to me, that's about. I mean, Queen of Wands is a very kind of a in the limelight, in the spotlight type situation. So this is like um, you know, all eyes on you type situation, or you feel as though all eyes are on you. Um, Devil was your head. The Four of Swords was your feelings. Okay. And then the Knight of Swords is what to do. I mean, see when you've got like cards like the Devil, um, the Devil, Queen of Wands. I don't know what deck you said what deck you were using the Triumph. So I'm trying to remember what they look like. But to me, the Devil, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Wands are all stationary. All of those cards are very stationary cards. The Knight of Swords is the complete opposite. So maybe it's like changing the pace, changing up the energy in the situation, like kind of a burn off some energy, get moving. So however that applies to your situation. Um, Interesting. Um, Fourth card is the Fool. I should have faith in myself and the plans in place and just take that leap. There's a couple of us that have got the Fool for our fourth card, isn't there? Ironically, the Three of Pentacles. In the deck I'm using, the woman is slumped on the floor with two people above her. Oh, okay. That's maybe one to think about then. That's a quite a different Three of Pentacles. I'd be interested to see that. Um, don't get stuck in analysis paralysis, says Jonathan to Kristen. Not sure that applies to the situation though. I don't think that I'm over analysing things. I don't think so. No, yeah. So far I have three majors, Death, the Empress, and the Emperor. Okay, interesting. Um, I asked about a legal issue, but this seems to be more about work. I've heard the cards tell us what we need to know. sometimes instead of what we want to know about. Right, okay. Okay. Um, Take this spread to be about my growing social life, says Kristen. Okay. So these we have these stationary cards, and then with what to do is the Knight of Swords. So with that Queen of Wands being in the centre, and the Queen of Wands is this kind of a very like the celebrity, kind of a draws lots of attention. Um, this might be quite harsh. It's just how I'm interpreting the cards, but it feels like it's saying like don't sit and wait for talking about social life. Don't sit and wait for people to come to you. Get up and move about and meet people and go to them. Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, like start a conversation. There's an action point, right? Just start a conversation with someone new, or start a conversation about something that you wouldn't normally. But you be the one to instigate it. I suppose that's a simple thing that you could do that takes that advice, turns things around, and yeah. So that's something I suppose that you could do this week. Had to jump ahead to my fifth card, Chris. And not only did I pull an eight, it's the strength card. Oh, well done. Sorry, I know I'm going dead slow. So the fifth card is what not to do, by the way. Um, so this was what to do. This is what not to do. So Jonathan's got the eight, which is the strength. Um, so okay, that's interesting. So I suppose that could be like don't try and overpower the situation. Don't try and impose your own, you know, um, strength. Sometimes is a bit of a like don't try and swat a fly with a sledgehammer type thing. It's about having strength, but also having the wisdom to know how to use it. Um, So yeah, don't try and conquer the situation by applying brute force or like power or whatever it is to it. There almost needs to be a kind of a gentleness, um, and a bit of come and go with the situation at hand is maybe what that could mean. For my don't do, I've got the justice card. Justice card. So don't do justice. Don't be just and fair and balanced. Is that? Um, will we read the book and see if we can get some inspiration from it? Saying we, me. Justice is fierce but fair. She holds the scales of positive and negative forces with her eye, constantly scrutinizing and weighing our decisions. Yet still she stands, staring straight into her eyes, looking deep into her soul. Justice can see the most hidden of our intentions. She can sense if our choices and actions are based on truth or deception. In a sense, she represents our inner voice of reason and conscience. She knows no grey area. Our judgment is stark and absolute. However, remember that unlike us, she can see the bigger picture. You only have one chance to present your case before her, so make it count and don't try to trick her keen eye. When justice appears, not all will be revealed. For better or worse, everything hidden will make its way to the surface in true revelation. This card can indicate legal proceedings or lawsuits. One way or another, the truth must come out. If you have been wronged or if you have wronged someone else, justice will prevail. All will be judged for their actions, so act responsibly and be honest with yourself and others. That's quite interesting actually. So I suppose that's saying a couple of things. It's a bit of a warning to make sure not to do anything dodgy, not to try and kind of kid anyone else on or kid myself on. Make sure that everything that I'm doing within the realms of this situation that we're looking at is, as fair, as honest, and that I'm not trying to pull the wool over my own eyes or anyone else's. But also, when I was reading there, I was thinking, gosh, this is really like kind of analytical and scrutinizing, and maybe it's telling me a wee bit like, don't overthink it, don't over scrutinize it. Excuse me. Um, yeah, like don't fall into the trap of analysis paralysis, like someone had said earlier on to Kristen. So that's always something to bear in mind, I guess. Um, Also, like the focus here is on the eye, isn't it? Because it's got the scale in it. So the do card is there's actually there's action being taken, and then the don't do card it's watching. So don't just watch. Don't just sit idly by and watch kind of a things happen before you. You need to be directly and physically involved. You know, you need to take action. Don't just sit and watch and let the situation play out. You need to intervene, I think is what it's saying here. So all these things that I've got within me that the magician's talking about, I need to actually pull the finger out and actually use them, and not just sit idly by and expect things to go in my favor without me having to actually do any of the work. Okay, initiate contact is Marita. So yeah, just Jonathan got a straight flush. I'm also seeing it as a reminder not to discredit my own strengths and that I'm stronger than I think. Robin, excuse me, sorry, Robin has strength as well. So don't think finding happiness in my everyday routine is some sort of weakness or inactivity. Okay. The magician, don't assume that I have all the tools that I need to get the job done, says Debbie. Magician for don't do this. What was your do card again, Debbie? Your do card was the Page of Swords. Right. Right. So your do card is a particular, it's the sword. The don't do card is the magician who I don't know, I can't remember what the magician in the Orions looks like, but magicians tend to have all of the elements. They tend to have all of the objects. So don't get overwhelmed trying to deal with everything at the one time. Deal with one thing at a time. All right. So um how that's been demonstrated to you is like kind of a deal with the swords, you know. Um don't try and take on too much at once. That's how I would maybe interpret that, Debbie. Jen says, I need to head off and be sociable. Be a sociable wife before Dean leaves for work. So great to catch you live. Sending big love to all. Thanks very much for being here, Jen. It was lovely to see you. And tell Dean and Carol that I was asking for them. I hope they're doing okay. I got a Five of Cups, so don't concentrate on all the losses this year has brought me, but what I still have. Definitely, Patsy. I got the Seven of Coins for what not to do. So don't invest too much energy into it. Don't have perseverance or patience. I don't like that reading of it. Maybe don't expect results right away. Potentially, yeah. It could be a bit. So some that Seven of Coins. I think I've talked about this before. Um, The Seven of Coins sometimes describes a situation where you're putting a lot of work in for very little gain. Um, so don't get yourself into but be constantly aware of the bigger picture. Have one eye on, you know, the output. You know, what benefit are you getting out of the energy that you're putting in? So in terms of like social life, in terms of relationships and friendships, be aware of people that are takers and that are going to try and take advantage. They're going to take up your energy and they're not going to give much back. And don't let yourself get drawn into that. Um, Potentially is maybe how you could look at that one. Judgment for Janine. Okay. Judgment for a don't do card. I always think don't try and move on without dealing with your stuff first. You know, um, the key to judgment is it is about drawing a line under the things that have gone on, and it's about moving on from it. But it's important to deal with your shit. It's important to deal with stuff first. It's important to acknowledge what's going on. It's important to learn what you need to learn from it. Um, just as important as to kind of a move on. So I feel as though if we try and do that judgment thing, if we try and move on from something without properly dealing with it, then we're always going to kind of a drag a bit of it along with us, and we're going to go round in circles with ourselves. It's going to cycles are going to repeat. So you need to it's maybe telling you, look, there's something that there's learnings to be had before we move on from this. And just make sure that you're, I suppose, looking at that for what it is. Um, Five of Wands, don't fight it, says Marita. The Seven of Wands, don't stay in my usual state, push my own boundaries. Eventually, I will find a gate, says Naomi. My cards made an interesting pattern, says Marita. 5, 12, 0, 12, 5. Oh, a wee bit of symmetry. We like that. Um, Jonathan says, Kristen, maybe don't lose heart if the harvest takes longer than expected. Yeah. Uh, Kathy, get justice as well. I'm reading it as don't jump to conclusions. It's not a foregone conclusion. I need to stop harshly judging the situation. Yeah, there was something in the book the book entry I was reading out where it's like justice sees things in black and white. And life is very rarely like that. Life is very nuanced and there's lots of grey areas in life. Um, so some, that could be a possible interpretation as well, is don't try and sometimes when we oversimplify things, we we sell ourselves short, um, and we kind of run the risk of, you know, not not dealing with the situation properly or not fully understanding what's going on. Um, I was going to get into politics there, but I don't want to start going down a big rabbit hole, but I feel as though there's stuff happening just now, um, in the world, and people want to oversimplify things. So they do. They People like for there to be a good side and a bad side to things. They like things to be black and white, and they like there to be a clear choice. But sometimes things aren't that simple. Um, and sometimes we do need to appreciate that there's nuance and there are grey areas and sometimes there's lots of history to things that are happening. And to truly, truly understand what's going on, you need to be willing to actually do the work and get back and look at, and fully understand everything and not just like the 5 minutes that you're willing to watch a TikTok video on and then just right whatever conclusion I get after that is that's how I feel. That's how I'm going to feel about it. Do you know what I mean? I feel like we want things to be simple these days, and things rarely are. Um, I kind of feel that way about. Again, I'm probably going to get myself in trouble here, but I feel as though the whole AI thing was kind of like that. Like people want it to be a simple conclusion of this is what it is, it's good or it's bad. But I just don't think it's as simple as that. Anyway, anyway, let's so sorry, number five. So the lovers, I'm going to have to sit with this a bit, says Laurie. So the lovers is a don't do. Um, so the lovers for me is make it's a card about choices and about following our hearts. Quite often we see it as a card about um, you've got a choice um, between following your responsibilities or following your heart. You know, doing what you feel you're obliged to do or doing what you desire, what you want to do. So fairly often, um, I feel as though the lovers is saying, "Do you know what? It's time for you to do something for you." Um, Whereas what this is maybe saying is don't rush into that. Don't rush into um, making a choice one way or the other. Maybe this is just something that you've got to sit with for a bit. Uh, don't try and wish it away, says Marita. Page of Swords for Debbie. Wait, have I gone back? Debbie, did you not tell me you had the Magician? Am I getting mixed up? Magician. If I've gotten mixed up somewhere along the way, oh no, the reason you're saying that is because I asked what was your do this card, what was your card for? That's you answering me. Right, I'm back with you. Sorry. Um, Judgment, maybe don't allow fear and self-doubt to hold me back from making the right decisions to move forward. Don't allow his actions in trying to contact me prevent me from healing and changing my life. Maybe. Um, Jonathan says I just sent you my spread. Thanks, Jonathan. Um, it's two intertwined snakes. Right, okay. Oh, for the magicians, so that'll be the Caduceus, won't it? Like, you know, my Hermes thing. This was a tough one for you, Chris, analysing all of our spreads while scrolling back for each of us to recall our cards. Kudos. Oh, thanks, Robin. No, I quite enjoyed it. Um, that's a good reading of it too. With the Seven of Pence, but don't wait too long for friendships to bear fruit. Thanks for this. I'm going to have to run. I still need to muck out the chicken coop. Enjoy the rest of your day, Jonathan, since it's just early for you. Um, and yeah, I hope everybody's okay. Just glad that we only have two hens. Yeah. This has been great. We got to go. Have to scoop the litter and do the laundry. Well, thanks for being here, Tristan. Uh, and Naomi, great spread and catch up. Working in the mornings, I need to head to bed. Thank you for a lovely time. Thank you so much for being here, Naomi. It was lovely to see you. Let's see. See, yeah, there's often more to things than meets the eye, and it's rarely black or white, says Kathy. Yeah, yeah, I agree. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Um, Instant had the magician. The other day, someone suggested if you spend 10 minutes watching the news, then spend 10 minutes sending love to the world. Um, Equal time. Yeah, that's nice. I like that idea. Okay, where are we? Oh, we're on 5 to 11. So I think that's a nice place for us to stop, isn't it? Um, Thanks very much. I'm actually, maybe instead of putting this away, maybe I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram or on Barely Balanced. Um, but yeah, thanks very much for being here, everyone. I've really enjoyed this. Um, it's maybe something I'll do more often. Because I think that we've kind of enjoyed doing it together and reading cards together and stuff. So maybe this is something we could look to do more often. But yeah, I'll take a picture of this and I'll post it somewhere. And I would encourage all you guys to do the same. So if you're in the Barely Balance group, then post it in there or post it on Insta. Don't even know if you can reply to an Instagram with a picture. If you can, then I'll do a post and you guys can look out for it and reply with your own spreads and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much everyone for being here. Um, Thanks, Robin. Much appreciated. That's a good way of seeing it, Chris. I've seen the lovers. We do need to love ourselves first. If we give too much of our cup gets empty, sort of thing. Yeah, true. Liminal Lark has been lurking whilst getting ready for the day. So helpful doing spreads together. Thanks very much for popping your head in and saying hi. Heading off because Corey's made some dinner, so going to go and try and eat something. Well, enjoy Malmere. And I'll owe you a message, by the way. I'll owe you a glide. Right, guys. Have a great weekend. Take care. Look after yourselves, and I'll see you all later. Bye bye.